Hello everyone, it's Diana Marchand from Raw Foods Made Simple. And in this video, what I want to talk to you about is mindset. Is getting into the right mindset to be able to eat healthy consistently. So I know this is a problem for some people because they tend to be able to do it for a little while and then they fall off, right? And then you stop. Well, there's reasons for this. So if you're just starting at one level, let's say you're just starting this journey, or you haven't been able to consistently eat healthy, then you might be down here, and then you may look at somebody who's up here and they look very intimidating because they seem to have it all together. They're eating great all the time. They're preparing these healthy foods. You don't know where they find the time. You don't know how they do it all. Well, that is also because you can't quite see how they get there because you're just down here, right? So you're at this level of awareness and they're already at this level of awareness. So it takes various steps to get to that level of awareness, just like an overnight success. It is not just one step to get to where those people are. It took them a long time and a lot of work to get to where they are. I don't want that to seem dismal to you, thinking, oh my God, it's going to take me forever to get this. That doesn't mean that, because each stage of the way is going to be positive for you as long as you're moving in the right direction. So every little step you take, you should celebrate and say, wow, I got this down. Maybe starting with the healthy breakfast. And then when you get that down and you're adjusted to all of that and you've adapted your life to always make healthy breakfast, then your awareness is going to be ready. You're going to grow as a person and you're going to say, hey, I can now handle, healthy snacks and healthy lunches. And then you just continually to take those little steps. But first you have to modify your life. Start with a small step. You modify your life, you change your life, you adjust to it that way, and then you bring on the next little step that you want to do. So that is how we grow and learn. Basically everything is done that way. We just expect with certain things that we're going to take a big giant leap, right? And also you got to think about people who are eating, let's say, the way you want to be, or their body is the way you would like yours to be. How do they think about what they do? So we all have these value systems and we all have things we love to do and things we don't like to do. So if we find something very important to us, like for me, it's always been healthy eating and exercise. So of course I make time in my day for that. I've always made time in my day for that, even when I was raising my daughter. So I obviously also thought about it differently. So how do you think about it when you think about preparing healthy food or about exercising or getting out for walks? Do you think, oh, this is so time consuming, I don't know how I'm going to fit it into my day and I don't really like doing it, and oh my God, it's so hard, it's going to take me so long. And what happens is you basically talk yourself out of it. You're convincing yourself that it's going to be just too hard to follow. So you need to think about it differently, because somebody who finds it easy is because they think it is easy, right? They have worked up to that point where it has become easy. To them, it's a huge value. It's important in their life, so they make time for it. We all have the same number of hours in the day. I bet you have some things in your life that you do consistently every day because they're of high value to you. So just think about how you can change things a little bit so that what you want to accomplish, whether it's healthy eating, exercise, or whatever, becomes a high value for you so that you do make time for it every day. Also, our belief systems. We were raised a certain way. I mean, if you're over 40, you were probably raised with more of a standard American diet around you, as in, a big portion of meat, starch like potatoes or something, rice, mainly potatoes. And then you had a little bit of veggies, which were probably overcooked or canned or something, or frozen. And then you had your dessert after, some sugary dessert or something. So if you were raised like that, to you that's kind of normal. And then for every celebration and every family thing that you had or that you attended, it was full of these comfort foods and macaroni and cheese and lasagnas and lots of bread and potatoes and sour cream and all these things. And that was the way that we celebrated, with cakes and stuff. And so it means love to us. It means family. It means celebration. It has so much emotional attachment. And when we may be feeling alone or vulnerable or something, we tend to, memories, taste, smell are so powerful. And we start to cook these foods or smell them, and they just bring us back to that loving, comforting time of our life. And so, of course, we want to eat them. Now, I want you to think that I'm not saying that at family celebrations or birthdays that you shouldn't have some of these foods. I say go for it, right? Just everyday life, all the rest of the time. You really should think about having what will nourish and feed your body properly. Save those for the celebration. It's just a way of retraining that you do not need those specific foods. Most of the time, if you were to continue a diet full of potatoes and like really heavily cooked potatoes and meat, lots of meat and few veggies, you're probably getting, well, not very many nutrients. But if you change and you add in more good, you can eat lots of food if you eat lots of good food that are lower in calories but very high in nutrients. People always worry about us going on more of a high veggie diet, that we're missing protein or we're missing some things. Well, we're probably getting way more nutrients than somebody who consumes junk food, packaged foods, lots of meat, potatoes, but no vegetables. I know we're getting more nutrients than that. So I want you to think about that. We've been programmed one way. We need to reprogram ourselves and think logical. It is only logic if we eat that healthy vegetables and fruit and more of those that we're getting more nutrients. The research is there. So you can Google it. Lots of research. You're probably thinking it's too hard to change. Now that is something, like I mentioned earlier, you need to reframe that and say, I'm going to make little changes every day so it's going to be easy. It's going to be an easy process for me. And emotional eating, that does have to do with some comfort, craving stability, craving love, and then we grab for those food that once signified that, right? Or it could also be you grab for certain foods at a time when you're feeling frustrated, angry, out of control in your life. Now, just being conscious of that will help change things around a lot. I totally used to grab for peanut butter and chocolate. And I would be frantic if I couldn't find any. And I would not be thinking, okay, Diana, what's really bothering you? Until I read in a book and it said that this could be the thing, and that hit me. That's me. I'm a person who loves to have power over my life, control. And when I felt out of control, that's when I would grab for the peanut butter or the chocolate. For some reason, that made me feel in control. I don't know. But once I was consciously aware that that is why I was grabbing for those foods, when I'd feel frantic like that, I would stop, sit back, take a breath, and think, what's bothering me? Am I feeling out of control? What is there in my life that I feel I cannot control right now? And then I dealt with the actual problem. When I brought it to awareness and was able to actually focus on it and say, okay, this is happening. Now, what do you want to do about it? How can you change it? Then it's funny, but those emotional eating things kind of started to slip away. And it's been a lot of years, but I really don't have that too much anymore, I have to admit. And when I do, I totally catch myself. So that is a very helpful hint too. So those are a few tips for you today, and I hoped they helped you. Please send me responses or below this YouTube video or on my blog or through my email on anything you would like me to cover, because I'm totally here for you and I'd love to cover info that you want to know about or want to hear about. So I'm hoping to hear from you, and it's Diana Marchand from Raw Foods Made Simple.